I'm just tech illiterate. Hello there. Per usual, I come to vent some rage and bring you along with me for the ride in a conversation-heavy support call that should have taken 3 minutes or less. Ring ring. Help desk, this is Absinthe speaking. Hi Absinthe, this is user, and I can't get the texts on my phone when I try to log into the VPN. That's easy enough to fix. I've just deleted your phone from MFA admin site. Let me walk you through how we'll fix it. First, we open the app on your phone. Okay, it's open. Great. Now press the Add button at the top. Okay, perfect. Click Scan QR code and we'll leave it there until we're ready on the next part. Okay, go ahead and log into the VPN. It will give you a bunch of prompts which will walk you through adding your phone again. Do I hit sign in? Yes. Okay, now do I hit continue? Yep, just follow the prompts on your screen. It's asking me for my phone number. Should I do that? Yep. You've done this before, user. You had to have when you were hired. I've never done this before. You've been an employee for 10 years. Well, I've never seen this. You should see a QR code on the screen right now. Do you? No, but I see a barcode. Alrighty, scan it with your phone. What do you mean? Remember how we opened the app and got the QR code scanner ready? This is the QR code. Okay, but what do I do? Point the camera on your phone at the screen and it'll activate. So I open camera. Do I take a picture? All you gotta do is lift your phone up and line it up with the QR code. It kicked me out. That would be the VPN login timer. Just try again and make sure to use the MFA app on your phone that we opened earlier. I don't know what that means. I don't have that, user. It's the app we opened on your phone at the start. Just open it like we just did and get back to the QR scanner. Hit add and then choose QR code. I'm sorry, I'm tech illiterate and I don't know what you mean. Just do what we did 3 minutes ago, user. Click on app on your phone, minus 3 more minutes of explaining what I've already explained. QR scanner would like to use your phone camera. Should I hit yes? Yes. Okay, let's log into the VPN and try again. Am I doing that on my phone? No, just like normal. I don't see VPN app, open TeamViewer, connect and use the search bar for the user. Open the VPN and get back to the QR code Okay, now scan the QR code. How do you mean? Lift up your phone and line it up with the QR code with the scanner we opened up in the MFA app twice now, but what do you mean by scan it? I'm tech illiterate, never mind I'm going to try and use the email activation for you. Doesn't work because the 2-minute VPN timer isn't long enough for the information to be used. I'm going to send you a text since that didn't work. Will that show up in my emails? Nope, just a normal text message. I don't see anything in my emails. Well, there's this link. Trying to use it says expired. Check your text messages, on my phone or my computer. I'm tech illiterate, hold please. Q screaming into the void, then congratulating a friend in RuneScape and finally pouring myself a Jack Black to try and get my rage back under control. Thank you for holding. I'm going to send you a new text. Your phone will ding when you get it. Click on the link, in your phone, and hit open MFA app. Okay, it says link expired. Try the text above that. Okay, now it wants me to name the connection. Good, so just hit continue, and then hit next, skip and no and then we're good. User then proceeded to ask me on every step what button he should hit. I don't see a we're good button, but it's letting me log into the VPN. That means we're good. Anything else I can do for you? No, I just want to thank you for your patience and your time today. Make sure to tell your boss you deserve a raise. Looks at my pay raise to inflation ratio that comes to a 12% pay cut since 2020. Will do. Click. I'm sorry. I didn't know you're an iPhone expert. I'm Asian, and obviously English is not my first language. Please bear with me. With the latest iPhone comes my memory of a call when I was working as a tech support for Sprint, a US telco, now merged with TMO.me. Thank you for calling Sprint. How can I help you today? Before we proceed, I just would like to tell you that I've been an iPhone user since the very beginning. I'm an iPhone expert, so can we just cut the crap? He was full on sassy yet very condescending. But I'm glad that he's an expert. Probably an easy call, I'm sorry. I didn't know you're an expert. So how can I be of an assistance then? Him, I just got an upgrade and got this latest iPhone 10. I'm not getting any calls nor texts. Me, that's an easy fix. Then I walked him through with the steps on how to update the data profile. Afterwards, he hung up the phone on me. Excel is definitely a database. Over the summers after my senior year of high school and freshman year of college, I worked for a utility company. I was an intern with their network support team. This was not an IP network team like you might be thinking, but rather a POTS network team. We were supporting analog phone lines going between various sites, office buildings, power plants, etc. So pictures a bunch of guys who have been dealing with the same kind of equipment for 25 years each. Very knowledgeable about what they knew. But not so much on newer stuff. They had a bunch of techs going out to all of these sites, making updates to wiring or equipment, and coming back to our dispatch center. Now having all of these techs doing jobs like this, you'd imagine that there should be some kind of logging mechanism for all of the jobs being done, so that when something went wrong at Site A, you could look at everything that's been done there in the past 6 months, and look at where all the cables are connected to. You'd be right. In our case, the single source of truth for this information was an Excel workbook on a network storage drive that all of the techs had access to. Mind you, this was not a well-structured workbook with sheets per location and tables of jobs done. This was essentially a free-form document with a single sheet, thousands of rows, and structure per site or no structure at all in some cases. It was essentially a Word document that just so happened to be addressable with row and column numbers, in some cases. Now even if this were a well-structured document, using an Excel doc on a NAS is a really bad collaboration tool. At the time, I'm not sure if this is true today, Excel used lock files to ensure that only one person could update a workbook at a time. This meant that when you opened the workbook while someone else had it open on their own machine, you'd get a prompt that told you had to open it in read-only mode, or you could save a separate copy. Many times techs chose to save a separate copy, meaning that there would often be many copies of this file that would later need to be merged. Since this document had essentially no structure, it was impossible to programmatically diff two versions of it, so all merging needed to be done by hand. I tried to convince management that we needed some kind of job management/log software instead of this terrible system, but they were unmoved. I was told the existing system was good enough and to just deal with it. Besides, I was just an intern fresh out of HS. They'd been doing this for years. Also, the file name was something along the lines of Bob List, and Bob was a guy who stopped working there like 5 years before I got there. But I need more information, some background. I was trying to work on a ticket where an end user wasn't getting back to me. User 1 had submitted the ticket on behalf of User 2, me, messages User 2 after leaving User 1 a couple voicemails, hey User 2 just wondering if you're still needing help with that program on ticket 123456, User 2, no response. The next day, me, calls User 1, hey User 1, this is Gargreth from the IS service desk calling about ticket 12345, User 1, that's not my ticket. Me, yes, I understand, I'm just reaching out because User 2 hasn't responded. Since you had opened the ticket and were the only contact info given, I thought I'd start back at square one. User 1, that ticket was for User 2. Why am I on it? Me, since you had submitted the ticket, it will show User 1 as the caller in the ticket. So, I'm just calling you to get more information about User 2. User 1, I called about it but the ticket isn't for me, it's for User 2, me, yes, I understand the ticket is for User 2. I'm calling you because I need additional contact info for User 2. At the moment I've tried messaging them in Jabber but they have not been responsive. User 1, that's because they're not at their desk very often, you should call them. Me, I'm calling you because there was no contact information provided for User 2, I'm wondering if you have their number. Do they have a direct extension? User 1, they move around a lot and are in the kitchen, that's why they didn't answer your messages. I called and told them the message you left me, Okay, is there a line to the kitchen I can call to get a hold of user 2? Also, do you know when user 2 may be away from the computer, if they have any schedule or anything? User 1, I don't know that number. I'm just the manager of a couple sites and I'm at different locations every day. They are probably in the kitchen since they work there. Me, taking a deep breath to try to compose myself. How did you call them and tell them the message I left you if you don't have the number to the kitchen? User 1, I called their direct extension. Do you have their number? Me, resisting the urge to smash my head into my desk. Nope, I do not have their extension. I had only sent then a jabber because no other info dash, user, interrupts, I told you they probably won't answer you on jabber, they might not even have it. Do you want their extension? Me, please, user 1, it is 12,345, they might not answer though. Me, that's fine, I can call and leave them a message. Thank you for that information. I think that's all I need, so, have a good rest of Y dash, user 1, hangs up without saying anything. A custom PC for the farm, some years ago, exactly how many will become clear soon. I'm walking with my young nephew, 8, and my soon-to-be wife and our daughter, 4. I live on the edge of a small town, so we walk out into the countryside. This route goes through, yes, straight through, a working farm, the nephew staying with us a few days, something which happens often, and the farm is like crack to him. He can't get enough of it. He's there excitedly identifying every piece of farming machinery he sees and waves at a tractor going by. An old woman gets out of the tractor to greet us, and the nephew asks her about all the farming tools and equipment. She's really impressed with him and asks him how he knows all this. He watches me playing Farming Simulator, which is a game I know he likes. What little boy doesn't love heavy plant and big machines? He tells her all about this game and how he likes to harvest with the big combines and chase after them with tractors and trailers. To the starstruck kid, she explains she's just moving the tractor and it's her husband who runs the business. She doesn't really know much about what any of it does. She wishes she knew more about it all, but those days are behind her. She's now very interested in him and this game. He explains how only an 8-year-old can, how he has to put weights on the tractors, so they don't tip up. If he doesn't fertilize the fields, he doesn't get as much money, but it costs just as much to harvest. So, she asks me what it takes to play this game. I tell her it works on a computer and, if she has one, she's welcome to borrow my copy. I give her my phone number if she wants to take me up on the offer. Her son has a gaming PC, so she tries it on his computer. A week later and she's on the phone asking how much a PC to play it would be. At this point I don't really build them to sell anymore, but that doesn't mean I can't. I tell her, it'll be about £900 and, if possible, a tour of the farm for my nephew. There was no deliberation as she agreed. I build her a low-end gaming PC, 8GB RAM, a dual-core, and a fairly hefty video card, one of the GTX 400 series if I remember right. We're talking around 8 years ago here, maybe a year more. We decide to tour the farm at harvest season, so he can see all the different things used to harvest different crops. So this was a few months away. On arrival, she says she's been playing the game 1 or 2 hours, nearly every day, and she's looking forward to the next release the year later. Her husband appears with a small tractor, hops the little lad into a side seat, and he's off to see the farm on a tractor. While this happens, I'm giving the lady a little advice about staying safe online. Tell her there isn't really a solution to crap internet out in the country other than 3G cellular and 4G when it arrives, and fix a small problem she had with a printer. The kid comes back with the widest grin any face could possibly fit, telling me he'd seen some horses. I had no idea what horse trials were. But he did, and he's now telling me all about the Frickley Hall horse trials. This has become a bit of a ritual. Now my son is 9, he was an infant at the time of the story, and he's picked up the love of farm machinery. Each harvest season we go see the farm, usually with me carrying some item of PC hardware the old lady wants to trick out her PC with. Last year, it was a Ryzen 5 5600X motherboard, and 32GB of RAM with an SSD to replace the base system. This year it was an RTX 3060. Now my son himself has a Switch and farming simulator on it, ensuring the annual farming PC upgrade will go on for some years yet. Why is no one helping me? But I won't answer when IT emails me. I used to work in a tier 1 role, so boots on the ground, and recently got into a tier 2 role, yay, so I figured I'd start sharing some stories with the nice people I worked with lol. I worked at an office with anywhere from a co-op to a partner or more, so we had some higher-ups always kicking around. One partner however, was always a complete wet blanket anytime you tried to work with him. There was always the two types, the ones that would chat you up a bit while you helped, and then ones demanding it fixed and say nothing. He was the latter sadly. One day, he reached out saying he wanted a headset set up and delivered to him to my boss, so naturally it comes to me. As he was always in calls, and I also love having an email as a backup, I emailed him that morning. I advised him I had a headset ready. And if he could pop over when he was free, I would be happy to help with it. No response. Day 2, same thing, emailed the same text and got no reply. On day 3 however, he got mad, and called my manager demanding to know why no one helped. And finally, he came over to see me, freaking out about a headset, and that IT wasn't even trying to help him. I told him I've tried contacting him multiple times, and every time I walk by the office he's in a call with the door shut. Right away he demands to see where I contacted him. So we pull up the emails, the date, time, and I show both attempts with no answer, which was priceless. Sure enough, we made a time, took the 2 minutes to plug it in and test it, and I went on my way. No apologies or anything naturally, but he never tried that again when I emailed him in the future. So a happy story I suppose.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more daily videos.